Hey guys, Norman with Bearable Traders. It is Thursday, May 2nd, 2019. Quick recap for today. Before I get into that, I wanted to mention a couple of things. We've got the challenge going on right now. It is consistency based. We've had some really good traders place in the top 10 out of, a good number of participants place in the top 10 2 days out of 3 so far. So that's excellent trading. I want to congratulate them. Hopefully they're able to keep it up. Second, Andrew's going to be in Dallas and Austin a little bit later this month. Check our forums or our Facebook page to get the exact info. The dates might tweak just a little bit, so I didn't want to say dates quite yet, but he will be here. And then let's hop in the recap. So I was flying solo in the pre-market show this morning. Sorry I'm not quite as smooth or as fun as Carlos, but it takes a little getting used to run everything that has to go on for that. So I'm not quite as up to speed as he is on it. Anyway, after I got out of the pre-market show, I looked down at my phone and I noticed that I had a text, and IB sends me text for every trade. I used to have that feature turned off. I'm glad for some reason it defaulted and turned back on now, because it showed me that I was actually in this position short in MU. I had a hotkey error and I didn't realize it. And I unlocked my montage about 5 minutes, 10 minutes before the market was going to open, and I guess my finger slipped. So I got out of it immediately, put me 13 bucks in the hole, not that big of a deal. It was my smallest size, so I got to figure out what's going on with that. I had one trade really today on Apple. It was one and done. So Apple, I'll pull up the 1 minute because it was a pretty quick time frame, but so Apple, as we know, had a big run yesterday, and the whole market sold off with the Fed, not the minutes itself being released at 2 p.m. Eastern, but when Jerome Powell was doing his press conference at 2:30, this whole market started to tank. So it was up pretty strong and then ended up closing off about 0.2%. I thought maybe it was a little bit overdone. Sky is falling mentality was kind of silly. So as you can see today, SPY has been running pretty well. I mean, we're barely into the day, but it's popped up above previous day close, currently up 0.25%. So it looks like they're shaking that off. It's not too uncommon that it takes a day to digest what they say and figure out which way it's going to go. So Apple, I was looking for a bounce on this, and it happened, frankly, a little earlier than I expected. There was a sell-off just because of the kind of foolishness of worrying about, the market falling today real bad. And I was watching level 2. I was watching time and sales. It came down, touched 209.50, bounced about 15, 20 cents, touched it again for just a second, and took off. And that's when I got in there. I didn't even get the greatest fill, but 209.72 was where I got into that trade. And then it started to run, came up past these levels, previous day close, paused here, came down, tested the VWAP, and I actually wanted to increase my size on this. So once I saw it hold the VWAP here, this would have been a great place too for a little more confirmation in this trade. You could have still gotten a great run out of it, but I increased my share size there I think I ended up filling at like 210.50-ish, and my average 210.13, I think. So anyway, I went ahead and let it run. Broke of 211 in this level that I have. I took some off, and then you can see on the 15-minute chart, I took my next partial at that moving at the 50 moving average. And then as it started to run, I just really had an eye on time and sales. SPY looked like it was deciding which way it was going to go. I was a little unconvinced about it. So I took a couple of partials there, and then as it broke 212 is when I started taking the rest out of it here. So I think my best fill was 212.05 or so. Had a little bit left to run, but as you can see, it's starting to turn down past all these now. It's nearly impossible to time perfect tops. This actually, as it's forming, and I just noticed this, looks like a pretty interesting double top here, which it looks like some traders are catching now. So anyway, one and done for the day. It can't complain about that. Anyway, thanks for watching. Trade safe. You guys have a great day.